Ladies and gentlemen, Crown of Thoughts. I'm your host, Double A. And I started this podcast as like a journal to take my scrambled thoughts and just throw them all out there. Maybe figure some shit out. And I watched the progression of it, and it's like it really progressed. Just started out with like an MP3 that I made of me talking about some nonsense, and developed it into like a real legitimate podcast with guests on and all that stuff. And I saw the progression of it, and it was nice. And a part of me intended on seeing the progression of me because of how it started and what it originally was about, as all these thoughts that I have. But I never saw the progression of me when I looked through it. I pretty much, I pretty much stayed the same, if not got worse. And I'm talking about like mentally. And, recently someone had come into my life, and I made a whole bunch of or a whole bunch of really fast improvements on myself. And I really started to improve a lot. And this person had specific goals they were working hard on achieving and had been for a long time. And we got along really, really well. Probably the best relationship I've ever had. Um, because she was actually nice to me. I've had some pretty bad ones. What am I trying to say? Oh yeah, and we're making good plans for the future and all that, and we had lots of fun, and we were joking around and hanging out and all that. And then the one day we sat down, the first time this person had seen the serious me that wasn't all jokes and laughs and whatever. And we talked about a lot of stuff, and we had made these wonderful plans, and it was really awesome. And then I noticed like I felt something off a couple days later, and they kind of spaced themselves out uh, from me, and eventually showed up and broke up with me, but didn't really want to. Honestly, like I could tell, and it's like the reason was I don't have any goals specifically. And I guess the reason I was given mainly is I really don't take care of myself. And you could say I really don't love myself. It's take care of myself. That's like a more defined thing, like love. What the hell does that mean? But it's like I don't remember if this happened yesterday. I don't know if I said that or whatever. I'm kind of lost in my head right now. And it's kind of painful, but it's like before I met this person, I was bad. Like it was getting bad. And I got a lot better. And it was like, yeah, so the issue was basically I got a lot better for her or because of her. And that was great and all that. But when we started talking about the future and whatnot, it was like I it was like I would never I wouldn't get better for myself. I wouldn't do anything for myself. uh, I needed something to take care of, someone to take care of. And like when this was said to me, I knew it was true. And this person had all these goals and stuff. And I think in the back of my head, I kind of real knew, I was gonna kind of like interfere with them or not productively participate in them or whatever, or the fact that they weren't my goals. I was just kind of hop on for the ride, and I was like, I can, I'm a work in progress. I can change. I can do blah, blah, blah. But it still would have been not for me. And I was like, damn, now I'm gonna feel horrible and hurt. And in the past, that kind of thing's taken me a long time to recover from. And it didn't, I don't feel good, but I feel better super fast. I don't know why, what I'm trying to say. I have a goal or something, and I'm actually a lot better. This situation kind of kick-started me, and like I was just deteriorating into nothingness. And this kind of kick-started me a little bit and gave me like a goal, or maybe like a purpose. Maybe that's the same thing as a goal. And I mean, I guess a lot of times when you want to go when you want to get better or do things better, and you start down that path, you don't really know what you're doing. It, you're probably gonna fail, and and it'll be like, so I'm here, and I'm getting this and this and this far up, and then bam, I feel horrible. But all of a sudden, I see something else going on that I didn't realize, and you go back up and up and up, and then you crash because whatever else you're trying to do fails. But like, I, it's better than doing nothing. And eventually, like you, through doing different stuff that fails, you actually come into, you learn stuff and you get a new perspective. And there's things that you never thought of, or just you're just in a different place than you were. And it's like that's basically where I am right now. And it's weird, like I do not feel good. But when you look at it, I'm a lot better than before this thing because I'm already here. I put down the alcohol. I did a lot of these things, organized my bills, started to act like I cared. And it was like emotionally we were amazing, but practically I was just basically going to interfere with this person's plans that they had worked so hard for, and I didn't have, it's hard to explain other than what I just said. Like I didn't have enough in me to get up on my own. There's nothing there. I was just like, who cares about anything type deal. It's really bright, this thing. I don't know where all this light's coming from. Who cares? Anyway, um, so right now, I feel like it's gonna be quite a adventure here to try to figure this out. And it's probably not gonna be a whole lot of fun. You know, like I'm a pretty good person. I wish no harm on most people. I mean, there is people that commit horrible atrocities, and I in a way I wish they would get what they deserve, but like that mindset's not helpful, and it don't make me feel good. And it's sometimes just let it go of all that. Just let it go and move forward and not think about the punishment that someone else deserves for whatever they did to you, or whatever, the anger. I have so much anger inside, and it's like anger is linked to depression. They're like a back and forth type deal. I think it's like two sides to the same coin. And I definitely have depression, clinical. I'm not like sad all the time, but I have no motivation, and there's a lot of things in my life that I found very important and very meaningful. And the more time I put into these things, a specific person I'm talking about, not a different person, but the more I poured in and into them and tried to make them the purpose for my life, the more I started dying inside, and I didn't know why. It made no sense to me until now. It's like I was the thing that I was doing wasn't working, and I really like helping people. I try to take care of people, and in my adult life, you know, everyone that I tried to help just shit on me. And like life, I everyone's got problems, and it's like the severity of them kind of depends on your mindset and what you're used to, and a lot of it is what you expect, and you shouldn't really expect a whole lot because you're never gonna know what happens. And it's like, the hell am I talking about? Yeah, I am stuck in my mind right now. I'm not very happy. But it's like this can be devastating to me, or it can just hurt a little. And then, like, I can think, like, it was not really a bad thing. I was really bad. I was worse off before it. I'll put it that way. And there's a lot of good memories, and I don't like that. Good memories are memories. When I think about like the good times that we had and everything, it makes me feel like shit. And I think there's obvious reasons for that. But there was a lot of good times, and I can't in my life, in your life, there's not a whole lot of moments that valuable, and it's rare. And I don't know how many details I started this with. I'm not in my head, or I'm not. My thoughts are just scattered. But this was this was a girlfriend that treated me better than any, and I treated her really good. It's just the problem is once you get down to brass tacks, this individual poured a whole lot of energy into their life and had a goal and worked diligently towards it for a long time and really put built themselves up. And I'm just like, I didn't do that. And it's almost not fair to them. And that's what it ended up being, is like functional. My beard is all weird. It's like got little hairs. Does that look better? Who gives a fuck? It's like when you get down to, is this functional, practical, pragmatic, or whatever? That happens eventually after all the like, oh my God, this is amazing. Uh, I love you and blah, blah, blah. After all that kind of fucking wears off, you enter a phase where it's like, we're gonna build a life together. And it's like, I don't I don't think I had the right tools in my head to contribute to that. And in the back of my mind, actually, because we made all these plans for the future, but in the back of my mind, I did actually keep thinking like, I'm this person wants this thing, and you had to be there, guys. But I realized how much work it took them to get to that point, to have the goal, to work towards it every day, grinding. And like, I don't have a goal. I really don't. And people say I beat myself up a lot, and that's true. But what I'm doing right now is trying to explain a situation where it's very sad and can be very tragic, and it can take me forever to get over it. Or I can look at it this way, like, I'm better off after it than I was before it. And I'm now in a spot where I can move forward. And that's what I should focus on. And it's like, the part that more so than losing this person, what I was afraid of is my mind. And my first episode was called Ruminating Thoughts. And so, like, I'll feel like I can feel good if I try to stop my mind and listen to some noise or some sound and be present in the moment. It don't bother me. It's like, it's my own mind. once you get Once you start spinning them thoughts, or once you get one thought, like, I've been picturing certain moments of this in my head, and things outside have been reminding me of it, and this and that feels really bad. And it's like, not I think my own head is like really the enemy here, because honestly, nothing but goods really come out of this. And honestly, obviously, I wish it didn't happen. And I was like, yeah, I can work on myself and this and that. And it's like, well, you're, I'm going to work on myself to keep that person around, not because I really have the motivation or really desire to do anything for myself. And the thing is, like, why? And I don't really know 100%, but I know if I start taking these little steps, you know, I'll feel better and get into a position where maybe I could figure that out. I can't figure it out doing what I'm doing, you know, get some proper sleep, which I don't get. I already quit the alcohol, and that was a mixed bag of feelings, because it's like, I didn't know, at first, I couldn't get out of bed, and I didn't know what to do. Nothing interested me. And then my head came back, like, because the drinking gets rid of the ruminating thoughts. That's the cure for that stuff in your head, but it's not a very good one, and I was hungover, all kinds of stuff thrown in the mix there. Obviously, there's such thing as a liver and kidneys. And so physical health, but mental health as well. And it was like before I met this person, I was like really, really in danger. I was doing a lot of stuff that I'm not going to say on here. And I don't know how much longer I could have gone, you know, before something really bad happened to me. And so as soon as I met this person, all that went away. And I didn't desire to do those things. And it's almost like because it took someone else to get me to that point, it wasn't, who knew how long it would have lasted, my being better, or whatever the fuck you want to say. Who knows? I probably would have improved a lot, but it wasn't, I didn't pour like years and years and years into my self improvement, and I didn't save money to go to the next step. I actually am out of money. I like pissed all of it away in the past 6 months because I had a good bit of money. And so it's like, what's wrong? I had a pretty good life as a child. People have been less than nice to me since like age 21. I'm 38. I have a lot of people that are really good to me, a lot of good friends and stuff. You've seen a bunch of them on here. If you've been watching, click the subscribe button. That's what they tell me to say to get more viewers or to get more whatever. Fuck that. I have to change my whole content. I looked it up on YouTube, how to get your page bigger and more subscribers, and it basically, what I got from it is change the entire thing. I'm not doing that. It's like make shorter videos, have these colorful thumbnails, tell them to subscribe in the beginning, do this and that and the other thing, and I'm like, and like the long form shit, like when I do like a 2 hour episode, that's bad because statistically on YouTube, it monitors. Okay, so it monitors like how long or the percentage of the video that the people watch and how long, but there's a percentage thing in the statistics, and there's like an algorithm with YouTube, and if it sees like people really like your shit, it'll suggest it. Like, when you're on there and it just some random shit pops up, it's like this is playing next, and you're like, well, I don't want to watch that, but that's what it would do for me. And so what am I saying? So to get your shit put out there, it has less to do with promoting it and more to do with YouTube alone taking over because they want people to watch your videos. They're like, they want that because that's what they do. And the long forum ones, your percentages get messed up by that, and so they don't throw you into circulation, so to speak. And I'm not changing everything to get more viewers. I'm like you guys. I'm making this because it's fun, and to like originally to make self improvements and stuff, and that kind of went down the shitter as I watched the episodes continue on, and I guess I wasn't really doing that much self help stuff in the beginning, but I was some, and I threw some humor in there, and made it a little lighter. A bunch of cussing and vulgarities because that's funny to me. And it's disarming a little bit to the viewer. Or like when I talk to people, sometimes I just say obnoxious stuff. Or I tell them like stuff about my personal life that's really personal right off the bat. And it's almost like, it's almost to them like, I don't even know this guy. And he's telling me like really important parts of his life. Anyway, when I do that, I notice people are disarmed and then move from there. They're easier to talk to. And, uh, and I know people tell me I beat myself up all the time, but that's actually, and I'm overly critical of myself, and I'm going to be critical of myself on this video, but that's actually the beating myself up thing is exactly what this person was saying. Like, I don't take care of myself and I don't love myself or whatever that means. I can't, saying that just sounds weird to me. I don't like saying that. That's just kind of weird. But I don't take care of myself properly. And I don't have the motivation. And I do have, like, there's people that are not as far as I am as far as mental whatever, and so they might look at me differently. But then there's people that are far more advanced as far as their mental health and their outlook and how much effort they put into their lives. And that was this person, and what they saw was like, I changed a lot, and it's like, how when is that gonna just, there's a point where that might just fall right back. If it's not for me, there's gonna be a point in a relationship where you're not all excited. You're just kind of doing your thing, and that's probably about the point where I would lose motivation. My words, I think. And so it's like there's small steps. Break it down. Somebody told me break time down into little increments so you can get through. Like, if you think about too much at once, like, this happened yesterday and I was pretty wrecked. And I was thinking about a lot of shit. It's like I'm 38, you know, again, I broke up with someone. Again, it's like, how, it's almost like seems hopeless. And it's like, yeah, my age, I have no kids and no money and no girl and no this and that and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, look what I do have. I have a house and a car and a really good job and et cetera, et cetera. I know that shit. I'm not just trashing myself. I'm saying this shit I could have had if I would have poured a lot of energy into myself, and I still can have. But I'm damn near 40, and some of the stuff I don't. I already passed it by. Let's just be honest. Some of this stuff I already passed it by. I'm worn out. I don't even know if I want kids at this point. I'd have to find some girl that's like in her late 20s or something, early 30s or something. I think once you hit mid 30s or more, it gets hard to. Whatever. I'm really tired. I'm really worn out. And that was the whole thing, is like, I am worn out because this was the first relationship. It only lasted like 2 months or some shit. It was just so good. But the other ones, I was, they were horrible, horrible, and almost traumatizing. It took me a long time to to stop hating these people, or to just move on. or to feel something again. Even like my goal is to be numb basically as much as possible. And this is a real serious one. It's kind of depressing, and I'm kind of embarrassed of it. You guys are gonna look into my life if you made it this far. You're gonna be like understanding too much maybe of me. Like I don't know. It just needs to be said. It just needs to be said. This is shit's for me, and I'm gonna. I watched the damn podcast grow, and a lot of things in my life do that. Like really capable of a lot. Like I started freestyle rhyming for fun and honestly to make fun of rap. And bam, like eventually I went through like three rap groups, made a bunch of solo albums, and I was in like a punk rock band, a hardcore band, another metal band. And I like that's like a lot. For that's why I made them documentaries because that's like a lot to accomplish. I did a whole bunch of different style of vocals just to see if I could do it. And I took something in the back of my head and made it a reality. And I remember me and my homie Pat were watching a podcast. And I was talking to him and I was like, dude, we should have, it would be cool to do one yourself. And like, we know enough interesting people. And normally that's just a conversation you have. And it's like, oh, that's cool. But I did it. I fucking did it. Whether or not anyone watches it or whether the quality of it is shitty or not or whatever. I don't even use a fucking microphone. You can fucking hear it. $0. $0. Same with the fucking music, basically. $0 budget. And so in life, I when you accomplish something and then it just explodes on you, you realize that thing wasn't all it was cracked up to be, and that wasn't the thing that I was supposed to be doing. But if you don't realize that, you're just going to do nothing, or you're going to keep doing that same thing forever. And it's like, there's a good reason people don't try, and there's a good reason people just waste away for years and years and years. Because it's painful to try things and to watch things fail and slip through your fingers. And I mean, I feel like obviously I feel like shit, but I feel like I'm definitely in a better position and I can have a goal and make a goal and try to walk towards it. And if I stray, I might find another goal that's better. And how my mind attacks me. And when I'm afraid, like after this happened, I'm like, God damn, my mind is gonna do horrible things to me, and I can't get away from it. It just won't stop. It just won't fucking stop. Like, how do you get away from your mind? You can't. How do you escape your own head? It's just there's one way, but I'm pretty sure that that's not anything I'm interested in. And then there's like the substance abuse that doesn't really work. It just does at the time. And it's like if you feel fulfilled eating pizza and drinking beer, then that's the thing for you to do. I don't, you know, and I was drinking like a fish. And it was like, if you're content with that, which I don't really think that you would be, but I'm trying to make the point is that I want something more. I want something more. And I'm gonna try to get there, and I'm gonna hopefully now, like as I watch the Crown of Thoughts progress, maybe now I can watch me progress, because that was the original intent. And I watched this shit and I'm like, not really doing that. And so now here I am. Really miss this person. I really wish this didn't happen, but it did happen. And if I don't learn anything from it, it was a waste. And so before this relationship, my life was basically going down the shitter, and I was doing so much stuff that I'm not going to say on here. I mean, it might have been 6 months till I might have died, or something else might have happened to, probably something else would have happened to change, to turn me around. But I was fucked. And yeah, I'm gonna assume something else would have happened to turn me around, but would have been maybe something horrible and worse. This was something horrible. You know, we really, really loved each other, like for real. I've never actually done that. I've never actually had that real shit. And it was only 2 months. I was like, this is the one. You know, I can grow old and boring with this person. And it was like a shock to me, a real shock. But everything that was said to me, I knew to be true. I just didn't understand. Like when someone says you need to love yourself, I don't know what that means, really. But I know what it means to take care of yourself. And so that's what the terminology I'm going to use. Because it's kind of ridiculous when people say stuff like you need to love yourself. It's like, I don't know, man. Like the biggest assholes on the planet might love themselves. Like some of the people with the highest self-esteem you could imagine are horrible people. That self-esteem is another one of those words. I'm just using these words because you guys understand what I'm saying. I don't know what self-esteem really means. God, I don't know what that word means. That's one. People, when people say God, I swear every single person on the planet means something different when they say that. And so it's really hard to like respond to those kind of comments. Um, and so I feel horrible. I really feel horrible. And but at least I'm in a place where I'm not deteriorating. And this won't feel that bad for that long. It was only 2 months. It's not like a couple of years type thing. It's not gonna feel horrible for that long. I'm actually doing all right. But I'm learning. The first thing I think I need to do is learn how to get my thoughts under control and be present in the moment and not be thinking constantly, because I feel like the only reason things like this make you feel bad is because you think about them. You need to extract what you need from them and move on and just be in the moment and put the past in the past and move forward, because forward's the only thing that's actually real. Actually, no, the present is the only thing that's actually real. The future and the past are basically concepts. And, not sure this is going to be an entertaining episode. But, I feel like when I look at some of the other ones, it's almost like I'm treating myself like a fucking joke. Not not really. I'm saying it pretty harshly, but I'm done with that, you know. And I haven't drank alcohol in like a month and a half. And I'm epileptic, so the alcohol would give me little shakes and it would fuck with my epilepsy sometimes. And that's like, I don't have issues with it now. My hands don't twitch. You know what I mean? Like alcohol can make a normal person have a seizure. So that's good. Um, there's a lot of things that I can start working on, and I can start working on them a lot faster than what maybe I imagined. I just made this episode for me, like I was originally doing with the other ones, and for me to learn. And I don't think I'm gonna rewatch this one because it's just a little too much for me emotionally. And everyone's life is different. Everyone's relationships are different. Everyone, like, not everyone dates the same person, so you can't really compare it. But this was insane, and it was awesome. But it's gone, and so I'm in a better place now than before it, and so that's what I need to focus on. At least I'm not dismal, dying, and depressed. I'm depressed as fuck. But at least I'm not hopeless. You know, this was tragic, but it gave me hope. It gave me a thing to put my sights on and a goal. It was, you know, tragic hope. Ladies and gentlemen, Crown of Thoughts. You guys have a good one, and peace out.